Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm KT and this is Simple Living with KT, the place where we talk about the issues facing our lives in a simple and mindful way. Something new that I'm still acclimating to is moving here to New Mexico, specifically Albuquerque, and to help with getting acclimated, I'm doing sightseeing in the area. And thankfully when I moved, I actually realized I knew one person who was already living here. She actually lives an hour away. However, what's great about visiting her is her city is really up in the mountains and there are some really cool sights to see up in the mountains of New Mexico. While not all activities that I do are free, this one was virtually free because we were experiencing nature, specifically a place called the 4th of July Campgrounds. This is both a campground as well as in general kind of park slash hiking area that you can go to. And even though you might think New Mexico is just all filled of desert, there are beautiful, luscious green forest up there where you can watch the foliage now that it's fall. That was the main reason that I headed up there, and also to visit my friend because she invited us up there, and then also she has a friend who has a side-by-side, which I guess is very similar to an ATV, or it's a specific type of ATV. I don't know much about it, but I do know it was a lot of fun using that side-by-side going up the mountain. It's not required that you need some type of ATV or truck to get up the mountain. However, the further up you go, the worse the road is. And there is one main location, I would say that I guess is like the quintessential 4th of July campgrounds where you can see many different campgrounds. Some are paid spots, some are, I guess, free that you can just camp wherever you want to. There are hiking trails, and there's just a lot of people in that area. Going up there, the road was pretty okay. However, venturing past that and going more up the mountain, where honestly the sights are even more breathtaking, looking down green valleys and looking at the peaking, orange and pinks and yellows from the leaves turning. The views were great, however, the road gets progressively worse. I would say if you could rent a truck, or if you are really skilled at maneuvering ridiculous sized potholes and are willing to risk honestly getting stuck, because where we were also, I guess it had rained recently, and so it was a little bit muddy and there were puddles, and I am certain my little Toyota would have gotten stuck if we had made a wrong maneuver going up there. I was super happy that we had the side-by-side and also someone who was local to the area. Also just something to be mindful of if you're going to do the tourist thing and go up there to look at the leaves changing. One, I'd say it's just better to go earlier than later to make sure that you actually get to see the leaves before they fall. But also from Albuquerque going up the mountain, once again it's an hour away and it's up the mountain in a higher elevation, make sure you're wearing, probably you might need some long sleeves so that you can be comfortable. We were out there truly all day long. I will call him our guide. Our guide who had the side-by-side actually had friends who were camping on some of the private property. By the time we finally got to that part of the mountain, it was rather cold. And if I hadn't prepared and, just worn long sleeves, socks, and tennis shoes, I would not have been as happy to mingle with everyone. And also they actually had a campfire, which we ended up sitting around and making some s'mores. I definitely think being able to go with someone who had a side-by-side and also just someone who knew the area, there were little things that he could point out to us that honestly we would have never known. For example, there's a little well that ranchers, with their horses, they would hike the mountain and hike some of the trails, and there's this well. The well naturally stays full, and so I don't know where the water's coming from, but it's somehow linked to some type of natural water source, And so it is always full and doesn't need to be maintained, and it's fresh water for the horses to drink. Also, there were definitely some trails. We did not do any hiking. However, our guide was able to point out some of the trails so that if we did want to venture up there again and go through a trail, we know where they start. I just love that there's something like that available in New Mexico, and it's also really close to where we live, and that I've been able to make some connections with people who know the area, so that even though I'm a tourist, I can kind of get a real local experience and be able to really pay respect to the area that I'm visiting and living in now. So if you're visiting New Mexico, or if you live here and haven't quite ventured up the mountain over near the 4th of July campgrounds, I would definitely recommend it. It is a simple place, very accessible to get to by car, and the hiking trails are a little off the beaten path, but there's plenty of space, literally in the woods, where you could just start walking around and exploring the nature. If you do, or if you've been thinking about doing it, certainly let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear about it. Also, here on this channel, of course, I just want to share with you some experiences that I've been having, but I do talk a lot more about budgeting and personal finance and my own journey, I would say, to financial independence with my husband. So certainly subscribe and stay tuned for that. Also, if you're on your own journey and have been looking for a way to propel your efforts even farther to reach your goals, then I would certainly recommend looking at the link in the description for my free 5-day Mind and Money series. And you'll also get information about my signature course here called Abundance in a Budget. This budget will not only help you get your budget and mindset in line with your goals, but you'll also get a chance to set up a one-on-one session with me so that we can hopefully help you overcome and identify some challenges that you might be having in your own budget. Thank you again for watching this video, and as always, remember to make the decisions that support the life you want. Bye for now.